Alright, now we're dealing with this real-life scenario, and this is a real equation that deals with, it's from the U.S. Department of Commerce, in regards to the personal capita, per capita income for each individual person. And it's represented by this equation. I provide the equation for you. The big thing that we want to pay attention to is this section right here where it says PT represents the amount of per capita income, so how much income each person's making. So PT, once we plug this in, that will tell us the amount of income that each person's making. And T is equal to the number of years since 1960. So if T equals 0, it's 1960 because it's 0 years after 1960. And if T were to equal 17, that would be 17 years after 1960, which is 1977. Okay, for this particular problem, it asks us to estimate the per capita personal income in the year 1983. So the first thing we need to determine is how many years after 1960 that is. So that way we can figure out our T. So 1983 ends up being 23 years after 1960. So we know that in this case, T would equal 23. Now what we're going to do, now that we know what T is, we're trying to figure out what the per capita personal income amount is. So all we're really going to do is we're going to take this 23, now that we know what T is, and plug this in for T. We plug it into both spots there, and then we simplify it. So we're going to write this P of T, which is the amount of per capita income, is equal to 12.6779. Remember, you always use parentheses on this when we're plugging it in. 23 squared plus 1.77. Whoops, excuse me. I got my eraser here. 177.3069 times 23 plus 1836.83. Now you can do this by hand, but I would recommend you use your calculator, and that's what your calculator is there for. So you're going to take this one out. Essentially, we're just going to plug this one all into our calculator, and we come out with a this comes out to 12,622. I'm asked to round it to the nearest whole number. It was 12,621.50, but when I round it to the nearest whole number, there it is. Now, when you're entering this one into the computer, the online system, you'll just enter it in as this. This will be your answer, no commas, just 12,622. And then that will be your answer. And what that basically means is that in 1983, the average per capita income, in other words, the average income per person, was $12,622 a year.